Hello, welcome to Death Wish Gamer. I'm your host CW, and we're here to play some more Pathfinder, our what's it called? Mark of the Obelisk campaign. Yeah, I heard that they added them. Didn't they bring like a Death Knight or something like that? Or I did. Okay. Oh, another thing I didn't really care for was that um even if you give your character like a sword or something, if you're like a spellcaster, you don't actually ever swing the sword. You just shoot things out of it or something. So like when you have was it like necromancer? Um, you never actually swing the sword, and it's like, well, that's the fun part of having a sword is swinging it. But all right. But anyways, okay. So we ready to begin? Okay. So last session, um, I believe it was last session that y'all were. Did y'all finish the monastery on that session, or was it? Yeah, yeah. That's the part where y'all dealt with the demonic presence in the, underneath the altar of the monastery. Y'all were able to purge it after completing the consecration ritual. However, it came at the cost of the father's life as the demon possessed him, and he had to fight the demon within. Eventually, it claimed its life, but Auric was able to complete the ritual on his behalf and expel the demon, which supposedly is the source of the Count's eternal life. But now y'all journey towards the manor in hopes to hopefully confront him or find any clues as to his whereabouts or what have you. Um, On the way there, you'll have encountered this odd statue on a lake, which y'all then walked towards. It ends up being like kind of shallow, and it had an odd response to one of the characters. In this case, it was Elenel, that this statue, which bared this stone sword, what looks to be an executioner's sword, because it has this curve arc at the tip of the blade to add some weight to the blade, and that's what gives it its ability to chop through heads like an executioner blade. So if you know what I mean by that, think of like a half moon at the tip of the blade. Yes. So yeah, it gave the sword to Eleanor. Y'all not sure why I did this, but y'all moved on. And y'all come upon the manor. You're at the gates of the manor. Let's see here. Do I have something like that, but with a crescent tip that kind of like let's see here. Can I find something similar? Ah, here we go. So, I'm gonna post it here. There you go. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so that's the type of sword um, that was given to you. So now you're at the gates of. I don't know why we put that in the off-topic section, but no, this is cool. But you're now at the gates of the manor. The gates are closed, but appear to be chained and locked. However, it all looks rather decrepit and, broken. Yes, it's been more than a day, I believe. Oh, not. I think y'all rested after the whole incident with the monastery, correct? Yes. So what do you do? Yes, there is a heavy chain wrapped around the gates. The gates are partially off their hinges, but are still um what's the feasible, I guess is the word. I mean, it's not the right word, but it's the best I can come to mind at the moment. Functional. There you go. It's still functional, um, but it has seen better days. The gates are like probably like 9 to 10 feet high. There's stone walls encompassing the manor. Yes, there is a lock on the chain. Sure, if you want to give me an engineering check. Decrypted works too. Hold on, what was the roll there? 12. Since it's a specialty lore, I would say that um there has been reasonable damage to one of the hinges of the left gate, and struck with enough force it could remove the gate from the hinges. Let's see here. Well, you can try. He has a spear. I don't know if it's going to be enough damage. Well, let's try an athletics check. So he reaches over, grabs onto. Well, look at that. So yeah, uh, yeah, I should make a character honestly. So yeah, he grabs onto the top part of, because it's the lower hinge that is weakened, and the gate's already off the top hinge. So he pulls on the top to kind of leverage it to twist. The metal appears to be kind of brittle as he wiggles it back and forth, and you can see shards or splinters, well, not splinters, but shards of the metal grind until it snaps off, and the gate just collapses. Um, Kind of smacks Myrmidon a little bit, but nothing that he couldn't handle. And the gate, while still being slightly propped up by the right, uh, the right gate, it's wide open enough to where y'all can single filely walk through the gate into the courtyard. All right, Myrmidon moves on forward. The rest of you follow. Now I need a perception check from everybody. Well, it looks like All right, Thomas, Naya, Eleanor. A lot of y'all spot this. Lyra. Um, I can see it, and unfortunately, it's not high enough. But y'all probably will inform each other anyways. Y'all walk into the courtyard. You're kind of glancing, giving this manor a look over, right? Trying to decide, okay, this place looks kind of creepy. It looks dilapidated. Um, Probably not safe to live in at this point. And on the top floor, you get this faint impression that there is something, some figure, staring out the window. Or it could be just your imagination. But the four of y'all all seem to come to that conclusion, like something's up there, something's watching you. Um, Another thing that y'all note that near the entrance in the center of the building is a dome-like structure about 15 feet wide with stained glass windows in the dome. What do you guys do? Um, it definitely gives you the impression of some sort of observatory. There seems to be something on the stained glasses, much like in how temples and churches have stained glasses that have various saints or religious events and stuff like that. These This dome has appears to be something like that, but because of the perspective that you have, you're getting an obscure view of it, so you can't see like the top half of these images. Okay. Do y'all approach the door? Okay. So the door seems to be solid, like a solid oak door. There's some damage, like a blade had cut into it at one point along the edge, but looks to be rather serviceable. The doors are currently closed. What's that? You check it. The doors are not locked. So you twist the knob and it creaks slightly open, and you feel this slight whisper of cold air permeate from within. All right, and everybody follows. I take it. Oh, anybody? Okay, Oric, who you casting that on? Now, it is daylight, so I'm not going to necessarily restrict light. But yeah. So, Oric, you cast it on yourself, light? All right, let me just make controls. So, you put it on yourself. Is that correct? Okay. We just give you a light source. What's the lighting on that? 60 feet. Okay. No, no, no. I got it. Okay. So, anybody else with any light source I need to include? Oh, Eleanor has a lantern. Give me 1 second, guys. Hope it doesn't blind us when we have so many light sources on. I thought I gave you a light. Doesn't seem to be showing. Yeah, that's Oryx light spell. All right, give me a second still. Huh, some reason it's not working. Oh, there we go. Wait, why is it reverse? Because that's what happens when we had lighting. Okay, guys. So you enter this room before it gives you Caesars. Oh, um, so you enter this. Sure. So you enter this the door. There seems to be like a small entryway for coats and stuff like that. And as you enter, when the last of you step through, you feel or hear the sounds of a strong gust of wind coming from outside. And before you are able to react to it, the doors to the manor close shut with a loud slam. And Eleanor, as you are up in the front, you can hear this odd ticking sound that goes click, click, click. It's very repetitive and it seems very metronomic. So, what do you guys do? Hey, you can give me a perception check. So, you believe you hear a ticking emanating from the right. Now, as you are walking, you you all hear the groaning of wood above you coming from the second floor, like these heavy, slow pacing steps. And accompanied with the steps, you hear the sound of what appears to be a metallic edge scraping along the floorboards. Oh, um, this particular room, or like, do you have to direct it at anything particular? Oh no, it's just right, right, right. For this room, no, you don't notice anything particularly odd about this room. There are, but they are not lit. Okay, give me a second. What's that? Who who put that circle there? All right, just give me a second, guys. Yeah, just a little. Okay, I gotta figure out what's this circle from. What's distracting? Okay, I think what it does is in a 30-foot radius, she can light up all sources of light. It doesn't mean that the light source emanates 30 feet out. Within 30 feet, yeah. Yeah, yeah. That's fine. Okay, so there's two, you know, scones, I guess you can call it, on the walls here. Yeah, sconces. Sconces. Scones are those are food, right? Free food. Danishes are in the other room. It's made of gingerbread. Yeah. No, it doesn't go through the floor. It's just a missing tiles and stuff like that. So what do you guys do? Give me a perception check. It's coming from this room. Okay. So you enter the room, what appears to be some sort of large dining area. And on the west wall appears to be this large grandfather clock ticking away. On the clock, it says approximately 6:42. Let's see here. What can I say? You can use a survival check to like decide because you don't keep a watch on you, so you don't know the exact time things are at. So you can either just assume it's correct or make an educated guess survival check. I'm sure y'all heard of grandfather clocks before. It's just that only rich people ever had them. Yeah, definitely. Based on the position of the sun, you do believe it's around that time, so it's probably, maybe, most likely accurate. Okay, like what? Open the the mechanism, the door to the mechanism. Okay, so you open it up. You want to give me a roll or anything like that, or? Well, I mean, you can give me whatever you feel is applicable. And this one, I mean, engineer would definitely fall under there. No, this one has bread rolls. Um, well, you see a series of gears, all seem to be um moving in clockwork fashion. Um, you don't see anything particularly wrong with it. It seems to be working just as intended. No, as far as you can tell, yeah. So definitely that would hit your. That's odd thing about this clock is that despite the condition of the rest of the house, the clock itself appears to be well maintained, oiled even, or the wood, I mean. And the gears seems to still have a rather nice polish to the gears. There's a few cobwebs in the corners of the contraption within, but for the most part, it looks to be relatively fine, almost pristine, despite its old nature. I'm sorry, what was that? I mean, you're in a wooden house that you are locked in, nowhere to run. I sure hope a fire does not become out of control, but it's your decisions. Well, I hate to break it to you, Laren, but you are not Daenerys. You're not gonna emerge out of the ashes unscathed. But well, we're still in season. What is it, 2 or 3? I don't even know in it. Anyways, so what do you guys do? Um, when you're looking around, you notice that there's a few silverware, stuff like that. While it seems to be covered in a thick layer of dust, they still have a value to them. Um, Lynn, you as you or Lyra, sorry. As you're looking down the corridor down there, you see a series of doors, what looks to be like a hallway of some sort. You also see a staircase to the right. At this moment, the clock says 6:48. Okay, was that how's that work? You just does it have like a chat icon? Okay. Let's see here. All right, so what's the detail um you're trying to identify? Okay, and this gives you. Okay. Hold on, I gotta read this pursue a lead thing. Okay, so um it's gonna take you a minute to do that. And Lyra, what were you said you were doing? Do you have either like appraising or metallurgy or mining? You can try to use crafting as a way to identify the the quality of the items. You believe they're pure silverware. Okay. Live in the mansion. It needs you know, renovations, but you can manage. Trading places. So Thomas, you feel that after investigating or looking into it, there is a larger mystery onto the clock itself. However, for what you can tell, that the clock seems able to wind itself. Gonna make me cast some. All right, so candelabra near the mantle light up. What do you guys do? I mean, yeah, I'm sure you could. Now, Elizabeth, I want you to roll a perception check. Oh, wow. So, Elizabeth, as you pass the clock, you feel that there's a an ominous presence emanating from the clock, or something is bound to the clock. It gives you a chill down your spine. Yes. Oh, let me see if I can do that. Um, what did I do in the second edition? Oh, well, give me a second here. I'm giving it to Neil, right? Okay, that should give you control. Can you see if you can use it? You might have to refresh or something. Oh, he has no light, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so what do you guys do? Okay. Eleanor, now are you at not full hit points? Is that correct? Okay, just one. You open up the room to what looks to be some sort of lounge. Y'all did rest, so I was wondering if you would be at full hit points. You should. Everybody else does. Okay, so what do you guys do? So Eleanor, you walk into the center, or you walk into the lounge. A lot of decrepit furniture, and you see what appears to be like this um sewing table on the left side. You see a series of utensils, like sewing utensils, and what appears to be a mirror, but you notice that the mirror has been shattered. Okay. So you're looking at the mirror and you notice something about the detail of the mirror that seems a little odd to you, and that is that uh, while most of it like appears to be undisturbed, the mirror is the most recently moved object. And you can see an imprint of dust where the mirror used to lie, and someone moving it, either by hitting it or what have you, that caused it to shatter the mirror. And I'm talking about like one of those handheld mirrors. No, you may not. No, go ahead. You just locked the door on yourself. Okay. Is the what? The frame? You can give me a perception check on the. I mean, it seems to be made of what could be a precious, uh, I want to say mineral. It looks like ivory, possibly. Yes, this is. You're seeing more wealth than you ever have in your little farming life. Well, what's the thing in Fallout? It's like the junk jet. Yeah, just shoot anything you put in there. They have every variation of it. Yeah. Okay. There was a few shards, but not a lot. Yeah, you can look into them. However, you just see the corner of your eye or what have you as you look into it. No, you don't sense any of that. Who's ready for the curse of Strahd? No. Well, vampires and werewolves are often closely associated, and they are vulnerable to silver. It's a handheld. Probably about 5 inches in not diameter, but yeah, diameter. At this point, those who have been trying to pay attention to the scraping sound on the second floor, you think that it has wandered to the far western portion of the house. Oh, is there something in the? Okay. You could, but you can do as you want. I'll just have to stop you when you get to a certain spot if you do interact with anything that might be important. Um, wow, Lyra just shot across the hall. Um, Lyra, as you walk over there, well, apparently so because Lyra's already over there. So, so Lyra, you see immediately the dome-like observatory section. In the center of it, you see this elaborate astrolabe. Up in the top, you see several imageries of up to 12 um, images up in the stained glass uh, windows above. Yeah, remember, well, let me see if he kept it. You never know with this guy. He did, but he doesn't anymore. It was, but I think he gave up his background for the proficiency stuff. So what do you guys do? Do you go into the room to your left, the room to the south? Okay. So what are you examining exactly? The dome, the astrolabe? Okay. Um, well, what you can tell is that you have noticed that there is a bit of a thick layer of dust on the astrolabe, but you can tell that there are recently handprints of human size gripping the astrolabe and probably adjusting it. You notice that the base of the astrolabe has a thick layer of dust that has been disturbed. Okay, and this is on the astrolabe, is that correct? Do you interact with the astrolabe or are you just looking at it? Okay. So first off, I'm going to say that you examine the area around the astrolabe before disturbing it to kind of preserve the evidence before tampering with it. Um, that you can tell that there was a few footsteps towards the astrolabe, maybe a movement arcing around it, and that the astrolabe had a purposely intended motion that it was originally set in. However, you can detect that based on how sharp of a stop that the dust around it is. Like, as you move it, like there's these two arms, kind of like the arms to a clock. A smaller circular arm and a larger rounder arm that you can kind of move by pivoting the levers on the floor to a certain position. These levers seem to leave a distinct line in the floor. As you are jostling with it, you can feel that there is a type of mechanism within that seems to click or um, wind as you are moving it, kind of like feeling a safe cracker or a safe, essentially. It seems like it has been readjusted since then to take it out of the original position. All right, so you do this. However, you don't see or notice any discernible effects. It is possible that the position that you put it in was the position it was originally found in, meaning that it was adjusted later away from the original position. And now you have this range of possibilities within that spanning arc that it could have been placed in. But whoever messed with it before deliberately put it out of its um, desired position. Now, am I to assume that you have something you're using your that's odd ability in every room, or oh, it's supposed to? Okay, I thought it was something you just declared. Okay. So one thing you notice about this astrolabe is that it has these markings along the outer edge in 12 different positions, and these 12 different positions seem to align perfectly with the strange stained glass imagery above in the domes. No, a singular dome. It's a single dome with stained glass imageries, 12 of them up on the in the top. Almost like a religious depiction. Now, the references of the imageries seem to be a vague and abstract depiction of something. Um, Staring at them, you get the feeling that perhaps these are constellations of some sort, but no constellations that you are familiar with. Well, where the positionings can, they seem to like the it makes the arms of the astrolabe align to the images above. Um, I would say that realistically, you're trying to think of any religious uh references here, but you're not picking up anything. Now, someone with occultism might recognize these symbols on the top. Okay, so as you are looking at these supposed constellations, you notice that these are a very obscure reference, derivative from witchcraft of some sort. Um, this is from ancient times and plays with a sense of dark magics. The symbols appear to be that of the crown of spikes, or the constellations of crown of spikes, Aurora Boreas, the widow's lantern, the cage of 13 ribs, the void, the pale bride, the shattered bell, the saint of knives, the worm below, the crone matron, the carrion prince, and the gateway of teeth. Okay, I'm just going to put those in the chat. Now, for those who are sending me messages in Discord, you do have to let me know because I'm not getting any like sound effects to let me know that someone is sending messages. And as for hero points, you get reset back to 1 at the start of each event, adventure or session. Now, I'll say at this point, as you are looking at this thing from above, and Elizabeth, you're kind of searching these areas, um, this living space and quarters. You all hear the chime of the grandfather clock, and you suddenly feel this cold breeze descend upon the house. It chimes 7 times. I need a perception check from everybody. So, Eleanor, you notice immediately um, this spectral being emerging out of the dining area. I will need initiative. Hold on. Let me create encounter. Now y'all should be able to. Or you can't see it. I mean, you could during your initiative. No, because you were not stealthing before the encounter happened. Do we have everybody? Can you use Myrmidon to roll for him, or do you need me to do it? Wow. All right. So Naya, you notice that Eleanor is like shocked or paled with disbelief. What do you do? Okay. Well, that's a free action, and Eleanor, as a free action, you could possibly respond. What do you do? That's one action. Well, that's too many actions. If you cast guidance and then you move, that's two actions already. You only have one action left. Divine Lance is a two action ability. By how many of the triangle or the diamond symbols next to the in the chat? Well, it costs two actions to cast. That's what that means. All right. It says, "Oh, you're on your own, Eleanor." The creatures or the spectral being rushes forward to Eleanor. Pull out its stats real quick. Really? Okay. It does move somewhat slow, but it is fast enough to come out and take a swipe at Eleanor as it howls. It hits you, and as its spectral hand sweeps through your body, it leaves this unwell feeling of death within you. And you can feel that your body is weakened and hard of breath. Oric, that will hit. Okay. Let's see who's next here. Thomas. Double. All right, you can play out a battle in your head using brains rather than devise a strategy in action. Flash goes before. Yeah, that's within range. A hero point. What's? Oh yeah, the second attack hits. The creature or the specter hisses at you. Is that your turn? Lyra. Right. So what do you do? Um, very like an edge of it, but not a lot. Technically, yeah. You grazed along the edge of the clock. She still hits. Elizabeth. There's all sorts of debris um in the area. Well, it allows you to use telekinetic projectile. It's a unique item, so you're gonna have to like kind of create it on your own. Okay, sure. But technically, you have to click the one that you want. What type of projectile? Yeah, but it also could be piercing. There's lots of shards of things. All right, now click attack. That will hit. So as the projectile shoots through the specter, it evaporates and howls, leaving about an echo in its wake. What do you guys do? Okay. Um, yes. Right. Okay. They certainly hit it straight in the gears. Yeah, that's a heal. Um, and I need a save throw. Will save throw from you, Lyra. Yes. And you can roll for damage too. I don't know if you can crit on objects. I don't think you can. But yeah, you do regular damage. But on top of that, however, you feel like as you shoot it, you hear this howling mental echo inside your brain, causing, 3 points of damage. And since you save, you only take half. But you still hear the ticking sound of the clock. Yeah, I mean, it's a gun, so it makes a loud bang sound. Now, who? But I would say this, Elizabeth, when the gunshot goes off, you hear that strange footsteps from above start running towards the stairs. So let's roll initiative again. No, you far the farthest from stealth. All right. So, yeah, Eleanor, you can like it's not like it's a secret or anything. You can hear the sound of something running on the second floor from the far distance of the house. What do you do? What's that? Well, it should show you the movement, and it will keep track of your movement as you move on. No, I heard it. Okay. Oric, what do you do? The most you can do is ready action. You use two actions to ready a single action, or you can delay your turn. Oh, actually, so when the gun goes off, the or the sounding creature walking upstairs immediately runs towards the stairs. And Thomas, I need you to roll initiative. I'm gonna let Thomas go first. What do you do? Well, it's on the second floor, but you hear its footsteps rushing towards the stairs. All right, Lyra. Okay, Naya. What does Naya do? Looks like you have to still make an attack roll. All right, it hits. I'll need a save throw. Will save throw. Yes. Ooh. Okay. You take 3 psychic damage from the clock. Roll the damage you did to it. I think I said half. Well, it would if you hit the take half damage, it should round down for you. You have to hit the half damage one. Now fire damage. So the clock begins to burn. And as you do that, you hear this scream echo within your brain of the specter that earlier assaulted y'all. Elizabeth. Okay. Now for Myrmidon. Was that your turn? All right, can you go for Myrmidon? Well, you only see one set of stairs. You only know of one set of stairs. But what you can tell, those steps, they go down. That's correct. Okay. All right, let's see what it does. So you see this large creature appear to be squeezing its way down the stairs. Now, who had a ready action? It's not a clear shot because you have the railing, you have the elevated level. A lot of it is being blocked by, you know, the stairwell. So you can take a shot, but it has a bonus to its AC. Well, that would hit. Okay. It's a good thing you all go before him. Thomas, what do you do? Or did someone. Oh, I forgot. All right, Oric, what do you do? That will miss. Okay, Thomas. Oh, sorry. That shield. You see this hideous creature with twisted horns and flesh and a large cleaver like blade. Well, I just assumed you're in a position to look up the stairs. Well, you need to pick a space that's not occupied. Okay, so what do you do? Okay. Okay. Well, that crits. Okay. So yeah, you hurl that into his face, right into his face, as it screams in agony as it explodes all over him. Right. Eleanor. Oh, that would hit. Everybody's rolling good today, except for Oric. Okay. That would hit. Cutting into his flesh. Lyra. The bullet goes wide. And you have one more action, I believe. All right, Nea. Well, that would hit. You have to click the roll damage button. Okay. The creature's taken a beating, but it still seems very angry and very vital. Elizabeth. Just have to roll the damage or the attack roll. That will hit. Apparently, this creature had made a bad decision coming down the stairs. All right, Myrmidon. What's the reach of his spear? Does it have reach? It is. I mean, he can attack from there, but it's going to be a bit awkward due to the railing blocking him. Okay. Eleanor. Let's go down the list of names. So what are you doing? I think you go to the action tab and hit strike. That will miss. Use one more action. What do you do? Was that his turn? What's Gray Shield is an action. I don't know if he has it listed though. Doesn't seem like he has it set as equipped. Well, the long spear is two-handed. That's why, I guess. Hmm. All right, go for it. I think doing that gives him a penalty to attack, right? Okay. Well, it's still a miss. Okay. So the creature attacks Eleanor. This massive cleaver. AC 28. I take that's a crit. It's a crit. So, well, you just go to wounded two or dying two because it was a crit that knocked you out. So the smack knocks Eleanor down the stairs. Oh, And the creature moves down towards Myrmidon, taking its second swing. AC 11 on that second one. Yeah, it's a miss. Oric. He has a blank stare looking up towards the wall. He doesn't look good at all. Just the second. Or the seeds. Oh, yeah. What does that do? Oh, okay. Well, sorry that didn't work out for you, Eleanor. All right. And any other actions? All right, Thomas. Oh, that's a crit. All right. Well, yeah. You slice into its body with the cold iron something. To your second attack. Now, devise a stratagem doesn't use a action point, does it? Okay. So, what's your attack roll when you have a 19? Can always suspend my belief. I'm a little confused here. What's going on? That's fine. Just what's your modifiers? Just so we know if you hit or not, right? And with the -5 attack plier, or is it a -4? So it's a 20. Well, that would hit. So give me the damage. Well, probably wouldn't undo that. He stabbed himself. What kind of strategy is this? Ha ha! What's expecting that, were you? The creature howls and runs back upstairs. They're crazy down here. Okay. And it has the cold iron feature? Alright. The creature's seat looks severely bloodied. Alright. Lyra. That will miss. What's up? Oh, wow. I've seen it too many times, though. Nea. That stupid banister keeps blocking your shot. Jesus. Alright. Need an attack roll. That will hit. It's not a crit, so you do just basic damage. It has this horrid smell as its flesh burns. Elizabeth. By by ammunition, she means sassy quirks. Retorts. Okay. Give me an attack roll. That will hit. Oh, okay. Um, Creature battered and damaged collapse over on top of Myrmidon as he like falls down, pushing Myrmidon out of the way. Wow, guys. Yeah, you get the participation trophy. Okay. Shoot it again. Give me a will save. You take 8. Okay. So as it is slightly burning, you take another shot at it. The thing continues to tick, though you can see like perhaps that the arms of the clock are kind of twitchy. What do you do? Give me a perception check. Um, you think that it distorted the time, but it might still move slowly or faster. You're not sure which. All right, take half damage. Lyra, Lyra, raging war against this clock, starts bleeding out from her ears. She. Okay, okay. Yeah. So you shoot into the clock's mechanism. You see a large spark as a gear shoots out of it. But you do not hear the ticking anymore. She's level one. Might be a different path. Okay. How many seeds do you have left? All right, guys. Well, congratulations on that creature. I wasn't sure how that was gonna go, but since y'all kept landing your hits, y'all eventually took it down. Um. So, Eleanor, um, you snap two. You're in severe pain. You're at one hit point. So, Thomas, could you give me an occult check? And what's who keeps? Well, it's not living, and no. So, Thomas, as far as you know, um, while you have destroyed the clock, the entity which is bound to the place is probably not gone. Well, the thing is, like, Thomas, what you know is that haunts or something that is like bound to an object or place never truly die unless the issue that caused it to be there is resolved. Unless the ticking of the clock is what drove it to its madness or death, um, you don't imagine that would be it. Okay. You may. It's open. Where is she? Oh, that door. I thought you meant the other door. Hold on. Got so many moving parts here. Where is this fairy illuminating stuff? Okay. Okay, so Elizabeth, you open up this room to the north of you, which appears to be like this decrepit greenhouse looking room. The vines and whatever plant life has withered away. You see a kitchen into the right, or maybe it's a pantry more than anything. So, Lyra, what were you doing? Okay. So you are looking around, but you do not find anything of note here. Psychic damage did things to your perception. So, Elizabeth, as you're trying to open the door, you realize it seems to be locked. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Give me damage. And this is at the hinges? You strike the hinges, but you don't see any particularly real damage done to the metal. So, fiddling around with the lock, you are able to get it to click. Give me a second here. Okay, you can turn the knob fully. How did Naya get through? I'm playing some witchcraft over here. That's weird. It looks connected, but whatever. Damn you, Foundry. And you come into a kitchen, which is decrepit. Everything that has like looked like it could have been food has rotted to dust. Place is filthy. You notice various blood stains along the ground that has dried and has just left a permanent mark on the ground. Okay. You don't notice anything of importance here. You do see a stair to the left or, to the north, leading upstairs. No. If you click it, doesn't seem to be locked. Okay, now stop trying to weasel your way through. She's acting like the little fairy. If you like play Legend of Zelda 2, the fairy can squeeze through locks. That's what she's trying to do here. Um, anyways, so Lyra, you open up a door that leads to into this, cabinet area. You just have this old, dusty, moldy smell to the room. As for Elizabeth, you open up a door to see like various crates and rot into the far corner. Wow, it's a shame that you did it there. Because there's nothing really. All you find is like tons of food stuff that has deteriorated to dust. Sure, Elizabeth, what are you doing? What's that? Sure. So you pry open the crate to find what looks to be just rots of probably food. A nest of spiders within. Yeah. I'm able to lock doors so that y'all aren't able to open them. Right. If it doesn't open, it's probably locked. Or you're not close enough. So you open up a door, what appears to be maybe a servant's quarters. You see a dresser and a deteriorated cot in the corner. Yeah. What do you guys do? Yeah, it's a cut. Okay, so you wander in. Um, do you look through anything or anything like that? And Lyra, what you're opening up there seems to be like a cloakroom. There's some garments in there, but it's a like a thick layer of dust and cobwebs inside. All right, could you give me a perception check? So in the left one, you're going through the cloaks and stuff like that, and you notice that there's this one particular cloak that seems to be rather soft and velvety. Not particularly, but it's well made and really soft. It is a like a panther blue. Okay, so you put it on immediately and you feel rather cozy in it, comfortable. You doze off and fall asleep on the couch. No, um, Elizabeth, you're just searching through. Do you want to give me a perception check? Unfortunately, you don't find anything of interest in there. So as you're trying to just jostle with the door, it seems to be locked by forces unknown. You feel like whatever you're trying to unlock has unlocked, but it won't open. Like you're twisting the knob is clearly not locked, but something is keeping the door shut. That's correct. Now the windows are set with bars that kind of make like a 4 inch. No, no, no. It's like imagine it's a series of windows, kind of in a nine by or not a nine by. It's a 3 by 3 grid of windows. Does that make sense? Sure. Yeah, yeah. That's pretty much what it is. Oh, you're talking about like if it slides open? No. So you bring your sword to the door, and it bounces off it like a immovable force rejecting your a child's hand. Yes, they go upstairs. The staircase that Lyra's looking at, it goes downstairs. All right, so you go over to the door and you find it to be locked. And the contraption to the lock is covered. Like there's no keyhole to this lock. Is there any what? You don't see any part like magical markings or anything like that. But it is a heavily metal, like a heavy door made of metal. Examining the door, you do notice that there is a little bit of caked blood along the floor. All right. All right. Now, Elizabeth, Myrmidon, what y'all doing? Well, it just has that blade it was looking around. Uh, so you searched its crevices and found nothing of desired want. Give me a perception check. Well, there is seems to be some sort of level of enchantment to it. So, Elizabeth, are you going up those stairs? What's that? Yeah, they are stairs. Well, give me a second here. So everybody's going upstairs. I mean, it doesn't have like an iron grip to it, so y'all could physically take it. It is lootable, but I have to like consider it like a large scimitar. But that'll take 10 minutes to do. Okay, so as you are messing around with the scimitar, let's see here. Oric, what's your flat-footed DC or AC? Um, Well, it's off guard, I guess it's called. Okay. So, as you both all are looking at this thing, um, I get either by sheer providence, um, Oric stoops down to look at the creature a little bit closer when something swings to swipe at his head. I need initiative. You're on the other floor. Go upstairs. The north part of the map. Hold on. Give me a start encounter. Okay. Now, the only ones that need a roll are the ones in this fight. Now, it's alright. Okay. So, you notice that the creature has reemerged and is taking another swing at Oric. AC 13 will miss. AC 23 will hit. Swiping away your life essence from you. It then howls with the weeping moan. I need everybody to make a save throw. It's a will save. All right, the DC is 15. So, Lyra, you are frightened one. The rest of you are immune for 1 minute. Yeah, you're good to go for now. All right, Lyra. Okay. Well, it does not respond to you. So what do you do? Someone destroyed my clock. That's what I. No. All right, that hits. It seems to wisp through the creature with no effect. Oric. No hits. Thomas. You know what's funny? If you try to aid the ghost, the critical failure will give him -2 to his attack. um, but I think you can only do that to like willing allies or something like that. So that'd been funny if you could do it that way. I'm helping. Right. You do need to step a little closer. All right, that hits. Now that didn't apply correctly. I'll make it apply correctly. Okay, it's still going though. Okay. So you swipe at it again, striking it, and that would cause it to vaporize once again. All right, you're out of combat. What do you guys do? Okay. Let me see here. All right. So you just start patting her head and telling her it's all okay. You will be okay. So you guys go upstairs. All right, give me a second, guys. All right. So if you look up, y'all should find yourself on the second floor. Oh, pushing and feeling. So Elizabeth, you seem to enter a rather large guest room or someone's room. You see on the dresser a large mirror that has been broken or shattered. Well, Elizabeth went up a different set of stairs, so you don't necessarily see her. Oh. Give me a perception check. No, it looks like a nice room, well accommodated, but um, all you really see is perhaps some old jewelry in one of the boxes, or one in the dressers, rather. Has everybody found where y'all at? Okay. All right. So you find some, pearl necklaces, some earrings, possibly gold. It's hard to tell. It's been a bit covered in dust and whatnot, and needs a fair amount of cleaning. They appear to be valuable. So I think someone opened the door over here. What that revealed seems to be like some sort of fainting couch, I think they're called. Where you like, yeah, sure. I mean, someone's trying to clip through the wall. Oh, well, it says I gave you ownership, so I'm not sure. So you find this closet filled with drawers and stuff and some clothes. Hmm. Well, you're scamming. I mean, scanning through the drawers. You find this unusual looking cube, and on it has the faces of um philosophical figures. What's that? Okay. Well, I wouldn't say it is a cult, more like academia, but you do recognize the people. I'm just going to use the same role, but using your more focused lore. You recognize the figures. Give me a second here. I'm trying to find them. Oh, you know what? I think I put it on something else. Yes. So, of the philosophers, you notice that there is Soteria, Kekros, Asteria, Markissos, Notus, and Cassiopeia. These are all famous philosophers from ancient time. Now, I need a perception check while you're looking at this box. Yeah, you have no idea of the function or purpose of the box other than it has philosophical figures on it. Yes. And you find yourself in Narnia. Tune in for tomorrow for a different campaign. Okay, so did you close the door on yourself? Oh, Do you show it to anybody else, or? All right. Well, do y'all make a perception check? Or whoever's looking at it. Well, Eleanor knows immediately, like, hey, those are one of those um, puzzle boxes. You have to move it in sort of way to get it to open. I don't know why I spoke for him. Sorry. Um, but that's what it is. You realize it's a puzzle box. Yes, it is a philosophical Rubik's Cube. It would be a. Well, you have to first. I would say it's either gaming, it is either thievery to figure out how to position the box in the correct pattern. It's like kind of solving a lock of sorts, or you can use academia to kind of figure out how it works. All right, so who's doing what? So Lyra, Lyra, you're messing around with the box, and you think now this is according to Thomas that you think that the first position that you have to rotate into making the image of is the one called Creperus or Kekros. Yeah, I'll write it down in chat. So thinking further, you think that okay, so this thing, if you are basing things on a timeline, as far as like where philosophers appeared in history, Kekros is one of the first philosophers. In fact, of the six depicted on the box, he is the oldest of the philosophers. Okay. Well, you can make an academia roll to determine um, the order of philosophers from the earliest to the latest. Yeah, you can't really figure that out. Some of these figures are kind of obscure to you. You're not sure. Okay, so you start fiddling around. Um, so you're fiddling around and you think that, okay, whoever this one is, you think that one's second. And according to Thomas, that's Narcissus or Narcissus. Now, Elizabeth, are you wandering off? I'm gonna have to make these walls a bit tighter. Can you- Well, I mean, if you're gonna be wandering, like if you're gonna be doing stuff, let me know because, um, yeah. I mean, if you're doing stuff and then I have to describe what that is, right? But anyways, so that's what you figure out is that Narcissus would be the second philosopher. Yeah, you can make another attempt. If that's the case, then you believe that the next oldest, or the next oldest will be Notus. Yeah, you just like okay, but I really you can't tell. Your positioning doesn't seem to like lead you to any direction that will help solve the puzzle. Okay. All right. So which of the three remaining? Get the list here. So those are the last three. What's up? That's a pretty good roll. So I'm gonna say that you were able to figure out the next two steps, which in turn will figure out the last one. Um, Asteria would be the fourth, with Soteria, Cassionopa the fifth, and Soteria last. And upon completing the box, it opens up to reveal a small key. Come into a room that appears to be um, like a study of sorts. Okay. Um, so as you're searching around, I would say that while you're looking, you don't find anything particular in this room, but the adjoining closet, you find a assortment of old parchments and books. Okay. Give me a perception check. Mm. There's a lot of books, so you're spending some time. Unfortunately, you don't find anything particularly useful at the moment. Yes, you can go ahead and make an attempt as well. Uh, oh, well. So cutting through all the nonsense, you notice that one particular book appears to be made of leather, and you pull it out of the shelf and immediately see that it has a small padlock on it. Okay. You hear it click, and the strap opens up. So you open up the book, and you immediately see all these types of diagrams and depictions of demonic creatures or abominations of some sort. You also see scribblings of magical nature, um, giving you the indication that this is also not only just a scholarly work of things occult and demonic, but also a spell book of sorts. You also notice that there is a numerous amounts of journal entries. However, whoever wrote these entries did so in a code, and you can't read it because it's not in your language. What do you guys do? Or let's say it's not in the Midland English or language. Well, I don't know. What do y'all know? Well, I'll make this more to point. Naya, you know Draconic? All right. So I will need you to make a society check because this form of Draconic is a bit foreign to you. You can't really make it out. Oh boy. You don't happen to have a hero point, do you? Well, of only the so Thomas, if you do choose Draconic as a language, because you still haven't picked any, um, yeah, I know. You probably still feel like the same restrictions as Nea in this regard. Even if you did know it, you'll still have a hard time understanding it. Now, I would say at least you can use. It's going to be a hard uh, academia check for you because a lot of ancient texts are have references to Draconian. Okay. So it says here you share information to trigger a creature. They gain a circumstance bonus to their check equal to your investigation bonus. Unfortunately, she rolled a natural one. For 30 pages. Roar. So what do you want to do? Wow. Do you have any other way to modify that roll? Okay. While you cannot read the passages in their entirety, you do notice that there's a few phrases that are underlined in various parts of the book, and these are the only two phrases that appears to be underlined. And what you make out of that, I'm looking at my notes, um, is about something about a carrion prince and a void. So you are referencing this thing. These are one of the these are the two of the 12 constellations you saw in the dome. The Carrion Prince. Yes, but not in the constellations that is traditionally taught. Well, it might be. As far as Thomas knows, this is a witchcraft thing. And these are constellations amongst, dark arts. And while they probably do exist, you have no context as to how or why they exist, other than they're symbols in the skies. Two. Not including anything underground, of course. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make these doors a little tighter or something. They look visibly connected, so I'm not sure why. Yeah. So the only thing that Thomas you find is in one of the dresser drawers you find an actual intact mirror. Yeah. Who's asking what? Yeah, I'm sorry. It is what it is. You can try. Oh, are you just stuck? Okay, there you go. All right, that's lesson learned. Now, Thomas, if you want to make an occult check, you can about the mirror. Because I think your clue, what it's like, you've seen these all these broken mirrors, and then you find this one that's been stashed away that's unbroken. And what you think is that it involves the creature down below. You heard of certain demons that hate their own appearance and will recoil from them if they are faced with their own visage. The dead one that you fought on the staircase. Yes, but doesn't seem to be anything of value other than like some old clothing. Mostly coats of fine make. Sure, there's a few coats that are like just black. Okay, sure. There's probably like three dark cloaks, but then in total there's probably eight. Probably there's eight. So what do you guys do? So you come into what appears to be the master's bedroom. All right. So Thomas, As you're looking through, what you notice is that there is apparently someone other than the creature, because you can tell by its footprints and disturbance of the dust, that someone of human size has definitely walked through here, because you see that in the dust, and some of the drawers have been moved. You see where handprints have been placed. Um, when you examine these locations, you notice that perhaps there was something there before, but are now gone. The only other thing in the room that has grabbed your guys' attention is this odd white mask sitting on the mantle. Sure, but Thomas knows immediately what this is. Uh, it's a death mask, and what it does, it helps people ward off death. And when someone should have died, the mask usually cracks. So, to give that in terms of game mechanics, whenever someone goes to dying 3, they are instead at 0 and unconscious, but the death mask, breaks essentially. It prevents them from dying. Yeah. Now this doesn't stop death from massive damage because it's only when you hit dying 3. If it skips dying 3 entirely, you're just dead, all right, guys? You do not collect go. I mean, you do not collect money, go straight to jail. Yeah, pace yourself, guys. You're overachieving in the dying department. Oh my god. Just imagine they're on, all right? No, all the wicks and the candles just disappear. Naya's still on your shoulder. I don't know. It's like a cat. Is there a what? It's called the Psycho Pump mask. What is the picture? I didn't even see. Right. Yeah, there's just a half bath with two sinks. Of course, you right. So this one, it's the same as the others, or you find that the dresser mirror has been destroyed. Um, but unfortunately, and just to like make this a little bit bridged for y'all, is that you don't find anything of value. At this point, I'll just cut to the chase. Y'all found all the important items on this floor. Congratulations. Lightning strikes Lyra through the window, and anyways, but I'm just saying, like, if you're looking for anything else, it's just like y'all succeeded. Y'all have 100% achievement unlocked. How's that? I mean, there's splinters. There's splinters on the railing. I take it you're going downstairs based on your movement. It looks, it's no, but it's a skull mask. Did I get everybody? Okay. All right. What do you guys do? Then Lyra smacks you with the wrench. Right. So you put these into one of the arms towards the carrion prince and the other one towards the void, and you hear this chime of an organ in the background, strangely reminiscent of the Zelda treasure music. But you do hear this loud clank sound emanate from the east. Everybody runs towards the basement, like in that movie, the Clue movie, where y'all follow him around. So I'll pause it right here. I think it's a good stopping point. You can stop trying, Lyra. I paused the game. Still trying to move her character. There you go. Naya is what I meant. But yeah. Okay, so you notice that the door is can be open, and when y'all get close to it, Elizabeth, you notice that much like the clock before, there is a heavy, heavy imprint of spiritual presence leading into the basement. And we're going to stop for today because that's going to be its own span of the journey. So I hope you had fun with your little clue fest. Yeah. Okay. I liked it. I liked making it because it gave um making up these little puzzles was kind of fun. So seeing y'all work through them. I'll probably make more elaborate ones in the future, but yeah. All right, guys. So the next session is going to be, God willing, on the 11th. So, do you have any questions, concerns, or thoughts that you would like to share before we part today? For those on the stream, thank you for joining me here at the Deathwish Gamer. We'll continue on the 11th if we can. You have a good night.